my stitchy friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Carla, and today is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video than what I normally post. It's going to be, I hope it's going to be an exciting video. Well, it's exciting for me. I'm hoping that I can transfer some of that excitement onto you. In this video, I'm going to kit up a new start. Yes, it's been a while. I decided this over the last week, I think, but I couldn't decide which chart I wanted to kit up. And yeah, so recently I've been feeling just a little bit burnt out on all the things that I've got. I don't tend to start new ones that frequently. I've got about 7 full coverage designs on the go. I'm getting a little bit tired of them, to be honest. Not that I want to abandon them by any means. I'm still working on them. I will still be working on them. Some get put away, some get pulled out. But I just feel a little bit, I think I'd call it FOMO, fear of missing out, because everybody's been starting new things. They've been starting the Library of Cats. They've been starting Amy Stewart designs, the Stitching Sanctuary, all those beautiful designs that have been coming out this year. And I just feel like I'm still kind of stuck in the past. I don't know. But yeah, so I need a little bit of cheering up as well. I have to say I've had a bit of an emotional journey this year as well. And, you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of a pick-me-up. So with that said, I hope that you'll come along on this journey with me. It should be exciting. I have got my mug of coffee here. This is my husband's mug, which I am the one that uses. He never gets to use it because I don't know why. It's just one of those things. It's the mug that I drink from. So you're probably thinking, come on, girl, just tell us which chart you're going to start. Okay, so the one I'm going to start, and I'll explain a little bit about it while I'm talking to you, is this one here. And it's called Streets of Paris by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Dominic Davison. And you may or may not have seen this. It was a new release, and at the moment I am really loving blues. I'm so into the blues and yellows, and I can see there isn't so much yellow on this chart, but there is a lot of blues. So I'm going to talk you through my decisions here, because I'm not just going to do the whole thing because I find it's pretty big. It is a total of 301,600 stitches. So I've decided I am going to crop the right side. I love the left side a lot more than the right side. And this is where the colors are sort of shining. This is where they're more apparent. I love these windows. So I'm thinking somewhere around there. Might even have to be a little bit more. Something like that. Kind of looks okay to me. So then I've got in this little, I don't know if it's a store or is it a cafe. It looks like a cafe. Might be tables outside. So I've still got this one in, and these 4, and I think something like that is going to be sufficient for me. So I'll be getting rid of that circular thing at the end. So it will just knock off a good chunk of stitches, so I won't feel so daunted, because I've always been saying I'm not starting a big one again. Unfortunately, when something comes along that you really like, it is big, right? It's not, if it's big and you like it, you're not, you know, if you get it in a mini, that depends on whether you like it as a mini. But I think because this is, to me, it looks like a regular, it's going to have the detail. So if I can go in a bit closer, you'll see, I know that it's blurry in the printout, but you'll see some of the lovelier details here. There's some people sitting there in these pink little tables and chairs. So those details should come out pretty well. I have checked the mock-up. The mock-up looks nice. And yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling like I need a little bit of Paris in my life at the moment. So the next thing I have to decide is, so I've decided on my crop, which I have. The next thing I need to decide is where will I start this chart. Now, I'm hesitant to start here on the top left again, because I always start on the top left, as many people do, and I don't really get into much detail. If I start on the right and move this way, I'm going to get this lovely Eiffel Tower. If I start on the bottom, I'm going to go straight into the cafes. So I'm leaning towards, at this particular moment, I'm leaning towards the cafes. going bottom up. Now, I'm famously not very good at working bottom up, so I still have to think about that a little bit longer. This chart is 650 by 464, and if you use 25 count fabric, you're going to have 26 by 18.5 inches. I would measure out 26 by 19, and then I would add my 3-inch border. However, because I'm cropping it, I don't really need 18.5, 19 inches. So I'm not sure how to work out how many I need. I'm not sure how to work out the length from there to there. But what I think I will do is when I get it in Pattern Keeper, I will count how many stitches we have up to here. Put that back again. How many stitches do we have up to that arrow across the length of the top there? And then I can figure out, give myself an extra. I know we decided, I know I put an arrow there, but I think I'm probably going to add that little bit extra in just to frame it a little bit better. I think I have got enough fabric. I have to check in my stash. If not, I'm going to have to make an order, which means I won't be able to start this for a couple of days. It usually takes about 2 or 3 days to get to me. So actually that's something I should look at now before I start kitting up, because if I do have to order fabric, I ought to do it very soon. So let's look at the colours I'm going to need. There is 90 colours in this piece. Let's go down to here. I always print out these 3 pages which tell me not only the colour, but it also tells me how many stitches are needed for each colour, and it tells me how many skeins I need for each colour. So I think you actually probably use a little bit less if you're using 1 strand, but I'm actually using 2, and I'm doing 2 of a 1/10 stitch. So 3 skeins here. I normally, if I've got like 1 skein, I will just start the chart, and then I will put some in for an order, or I'll go around looking. Sometimes I steal it from other from other projects that I've got, if I've got a bit over that I don't need. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be some beautiful colours. I'm just curious on the blues here, because this kind of blue, I want to see how many colours. Looks like something like 996, but there's only 322 stitches there. I'm just looking to see which colour. Okay, so 3799, that's got a lot. That's got 13,000. What else has got a big number? We've got any big numbers over here. We've got 9,000 in a brown stitches. Let me look at the first page again. We've got big, yeah, 10,000 in that 169, which is kind of like a greeny grey. 16,000. These colours, 317, 169. I always have a lot of those because they're quite frequently used in quite a lot of projects. 413 is frequently used. That's 13,000. 12,000 in 414. Frequently used colour in a lot of these charts. Don't see a huge amount. 775, is that a blue? That's 15,000. So let me just check the most skeins I need. 5, 4, 4. I think 5 is going to be the biggest amount. Usually it's 310 in a lot of these charts. There's 4 needed of 3799. So that just gives me a rough estimate of how many I think I might need. Yeah, so there's no more than 5 skeins needed of any of these, as far as I can tell. If I've missed something, you can let me know in the comments. I don't think I have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start going through this box, which is more or less in alphabetical order. This is a beautiful box. I can't remember where I purchased it from. It's double-sided. Very, very handy for storing my bobbins. I am not a floss girl. I have tried using floss drops, but they just don't agree with me. I have some floss drops here for something that I probably stopped working on, and I probably took them out of the skeins and put them on floss drops, and I wish I hadn't, because I don't really like using floss drops. It's just not my kind of thing. I prefer using these boxes that I have. I've got one wrapped up right here. You can get them on Amazon, and they come with a strip of labels, and they come also with bobbins. So you can see under there, it's got different compartments for all your threads. So I'm going to open that and start looking at the colours. So let me know what you think. And it's always fun and exciting, isn't it, to see somebody starting something new, especially if they bring you along with their kitting up and everything. I have a bowl of lovely colours here. I don't think I'll be using all of these colours, but there's going to be one or two in here that I probably will need. And I've also got this massive box beside me right here. It's full with spare colours, spare threads, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to find some in there. So what I do is I dig through all these things. I get all the colours that I've got spare that I need, and then I start putting them onto the bobbins. That usually takes me a few days, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to start anytime soon. Definitely not today anyway, so there won't be a starting video that I'm recording today whilst I'm doing this. I think that's everything I have to tell you, so let me know what you think. And I'm also going to, I've got to go and check that my fabric I've got the right size fabric. If not, I have to get that on order straight away. So this is something I'm going to be working on over the next couple of weeks. It's going to keep me a bit more distracted than my current whips. I am actually working on Riverwalk Charm daily. I'm putting in about 50 to 100 stitches a day just to keep it moving. I've been working on Battle. I think I might be putting Battle down for a few days, maybe a week or so, just to have a break. I'm getting a bit burnt out on it. It's highly confetti. I've been working on it since the beginning of the year. I really haven't started anything new this year, so it's not such a terrible thing, I don't think. And I probably will not be starting anything again for the rest of the year, so just take a sip of my coffee before it gets cold. So yeah, I think that's everything. If you've got any questions, you can put them below. If you've got any tips, you can put them below. I'm going to go now and check my fabric, and I may come back and add to this video. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so looking at my fabric, I can see that I've got enough length to do about 600 stitches, and I've looked at where 600 stitches is on the chart, and I can see that it's quite near the end of the chart, and I wanted to crop right up to, if you see here, that would be where that dome is on the right hand side, and I wanted to work until about here. So where this line is, which is about 510, but I still have enough fabric to go on quite a bit if I wanted. So basically I've got enough fabric to take me, where is that 600 again, with a border as well, not forgetting the 3-inch border. Down is fine, it's 19 inches and mine is well over 25. So I would have enough to go, I would have enough to stitch right up to here if I wanted to. So if you see that there, see that little thing there on the top right? So I've got 600 plus a border, right, it would go onto the border if I stitched that. These last 2.5 columns would be going into my border, which is that bit there. You can see that little chimney, that's that chimney there. So yeah, I think that's acceptable. I think I'm good enough to stitch. As I said, I want to stitch up to here, just past these 2 windows. So I've got loads of fabric left. If I wanted to stitch up to there, I could, but I'm planning to just do that piece. So I think I'm good to go with that. That's the plan anyway. So now I'm going to get on with my stash, my thread stash, and see what I can come up with, and I'll come back and show you that soon. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I have managed to kit up approximately half of this chart, and it's a real pain because I've got not enough of some colors and too many skeins of other colors, so it becomes really confusing, and I'm trying to make notes of how many skeins I actually need of each color. And I mean, I'm ticking them off here, the ones that I have, but then I have to make note of that I need more of a certain color, so it's just, yeah, it's giving me a bit of a headache. So since I started this morning at about 11 o'clock, I've literally had a lunch break, and then I felt a little bit sick, so I just waited a bit longer. Then I came back and I carried on, so I've practically been 3 or 4 hours. So it's not really that long if you think about the fact that I've got the fabric pretty much ready. I've got my skeins sorted out. There are some that I'm going to have to locate or buy some extra ones because I don't have them. This little wee girl over here has been very patient. Haven't you, Misty? If she knows her name, she looks up. You're a good girl, aren't you? She hasn't been jumping into my box. She hasn't been looking at my things, trying to attack them or anything. She's been very, very quiet. She's really, really well behaved. I think she knows now not to attack my threads because she knows it's a no-go. It's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to continue with this kitting up. I don't know if I'm going to be finished. Most likely not going to be finished today. So I'll come back when I'm just about ready, or when I'm close to doing this whole kitting up business. It's not my favorite thing when it comes to starting a chart, which is probably why I don't start loads and loads of them. Yeah, I really have to be kind of in the mood for it. So I'm taking advantage of it while I am in the mood. So thanks for watching. I'll be back again soon. Hello my friends. So today is Tuesday and I've managed to pretty much get as many of these flosses as I can into the box. I did start stitching, but I haven't done very much. So here we have what I've got done so far. It's not a lot. I started up here, but you can see that it's mostly an off-white color, which isn't fantastic. It's difficult to see, so I had to do it this morning when my eyes were not too tired. So what I basically did was, I thought about just starting at the top, but then I think that's going to get pretty boring quickly because it's just all white clouds and a bit of blue sky or pink sky. So I came down to here and started on the roof. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of strands down here, and then I'm going to go up and do a couple of strands up here, and eventually they'll join together and we can carry on that way. I think it's probably the easiest way is to fill in as much of this top area as I can, and then going down here and just continue down. That's sort of the plan. It doesn't mean that's exactly the plan, but that's kind of what I'm going to do. I've got my little friend here beside me. She's stuck to me pretty much all day and all evening, aren't you, Misty? Aren't you? Yeah, she's a friendly little thing. She likes to be. She likes having her chin scratched. Hey, Misty. She's all excited at the moment because the seagulls are nesting on our roof, and she can see them through the skylight, but she can't get to them. So she's really excited about being able to see them, although it's a bit frustrating for her. Isn't it, girl? We're going to have to brush you again today. This cat needs to be brushed every single day because she's got so much hair that it does get naughty. It gets naughty, doesn't it? You're a spoiled little thing, aren't you? I think everyone can see that you're a spoiled little thing. Isn't that true? Hmm? Yeah, she likes her little spot, don't you? You're a good girl, Misty. Yes, you are. You're a good girl. Give me those lovey eyes. She's giving me the lovey eyes. Is that the people outside? Oh. Hey. Can't help but love them, can you? So yeah, so this is where I've got to. So I'm going to do a little bit more today, and then I'm going to switch and do some on my Riverwalk charm, because that is one of the priority pieces that I do need to get a few stitches in at least every other day, if not every day now. So far I've got about 700 stitches in this month, which is pretty good. So I'll keep doing that, so just to keep it moving, and we'll see where we get. So that's bringing me to the end of this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. If you've made a new start recently, let me know what you've done, because I love watching these sort of kitting up type of videos of new projects. Yeah, it's really a lot of fun to do, so I'm looking forward to continuing with this. I'm not able to do a live stream at the end of this week. I have something on, so it's just not going to be possible to find the time to fit it in. But I am going to do a stitch with me, so you can join me for that one, and I shall come back and post that or record that as soon as I can. So it's goodbye from me, and thanks for watching, and take care, my friends. And also a quick goodbye from this little muffin here, where she's fast asleep now. So take care, everyone, and enjoy your stitching.